Imagine looking at a high-performance sports car. The paint is flawless, the wax is gleaming, and there isn't a single scratch visible. It looks fast and reliable, but that shiny exterior tells you absolutely nothing about the state of the engine underneath. We tend to judge human health exactly the same way. When we see someone who is older but stays incredibly active, we naturally assume they are perfectly healthy on the inside, simply because they look so incredibly fit on the outside. Take Dr. Peter Megdal. At 55 years old, Peter was an elite competitive cyclist. He trained for hours every single week, was exceptionally lean, and had the physical presence of that pristine sports car. But over the course of 2 years, Peter noticed something strange. His maximum cycling powers steadily dropped by 14%. He didn't feel any acute chest pain or shortness of breath. He just couldn't pedal as hard as he used to. It turns out physical fitness can act like an optical illusion. You can build strong muscles and powerful lungs on the outside while completely masking a failing cardiovascular engine on the inside. To understand what was happening to Peter, we have to look under the hood, past the muscles, deep into the network of tubes that deliver oxygen to the heart. Peter was suffering from a hidden lack of blood flow. Because his heart was so well trained from decades of cycling, it had built up a massive plumbing network. That network was so efficient at delivering blood that it compensated for the damage until he pushed his body to his absolute maximum limit. When doctors finally ran an imaging test called an angiogram to look closely at his blood vessels, they found multiple blockages. One of the main arteries feeding his heart was 100% blocked. Nothing was getting through. The initial fix was mechanical. Surgeons inserted a tiny metal tube called a stent to prop open one of the other blocked areas. But in the months that followed, Peter's athletic performance didn't bounce back. In fact, his ability to process oxygen actually continued to drop. Propping open a single segment of pipe fails to address the larger reality. This disease affects the entire network of vessels at once, meaning a localized fix can't restore a system that is struggling everywhere. The source of this system-wide problem usually comes down to cholesterol. Your body relies on cholesterol to build healthy cells, but your liver naturally manufactures all the cholesterol those cells actually need to survive. When we consume a standard Western diet heavy in animal products and processed foods, we introduce a massive, unnecessary surplus of cholesterol into the bloodstream. It is like dumping extra cargo onto a highway that is already fully stocked. Excess cholesterol embeds into the blood vessel wall, swelling into a restrictive mass. Over decades, this hardens into plaque, completely choking off the central channel. Because plaque is locked deep inside the wall, even Peter's intense daily cycling could not physically scrape this buildup away. You cannot out-exercise a biological environment that is constantly saturated with excess cholesterol. The plumbing will continue to clog as long as the surplus remains. This left Peter with a serious dilemma. He had a completely blocked pipe that surgeons couldn't safely reach or stent. He needed a way to clear the blockage from the inside out. His first step was changing his fuel. Peter shifted to a strict, low-fat, whole-food plant-based diet. By cutting out animal products and added oils, he shut off the external pipeline of cholesterol entering his body. Peter added a PCSK9 inhibitor medication, helping his liver pull excess cholesterol from the blood. Combined with diet, his LDL plummeted from 139 to 21. This absolute minimum concentration removes stress on artery walls, stopping new damage and letting natural healing engage. For months, Peter maintained this ultra-low cholesterol environment. His blood, now acting like a clean, pure river, continuously washed over the hardened plaque without adding any new debris. Slowly, the plaque began to shrink. The totally choked-off artery managed to widen, opening back up on its own. A follow-up test 4 years later proved it. The medical imaging showed the once dead artery was now clear, and blood was flowing normally again. With his internal plumbing restored, Peter's ability to process oxygen, essentially his engine's top-end capacity, skyrocketed from 52 to over 65. He was back to racing against world-class cyclists. We can actually dismantle the buildup of heart disease from the inside out. By dramatically changing the blood's chemistry, we give the body the environment it needs to shrink plaque and reopen vessels. When the microscopic damage heals, the whole machine runs differently. You can pedal harder, breathe easier, and ask more of your body. Heart disease remains the leading global cause of death because it thrives on our ignorance. It grows quietly in the dark while we assume everything is fine. Stop trusting the paint job. A fast marathon time or a lean physique doesn't guarantee clear arteries. It is crucial to look under the hood and measure your actual internal cardiovascular health. The power to clear the pipes exists. Armed with the right dietary choices and modern medical tools, you have the agency to stop this silent disease and reclaim your future.